Okay, welcome to another episode of the Journal. Might notice something a little bit different about me this week. Not wearing a hat. It's probably the only time you're going to see me not wearing a hat, by the way. But it's quite significant. I want to share with you why. Last weekend, I went and spent some time in a monastery with a community of Buddhist monks. It was a truly amazing, humbling experience. One I want to share a little bit of some of the insights from those few days. But ultimately, that whole weekend, I took my hat off, not just physically, but sort of metaphorically, because it made me think a little bit about that word identity and how we carry so much of our identity around with us. Mine certainly. The guy with the hats. I walked into that monastery and no one knew me, so I wasn't the guy with the hats, I wasn't the podcast host, I wasn't the entrepreneur, I wasn't the father or the son, I was just Sam. So by taking my hat off, I stripped everything back and was just me. Because I feel like we're constantly holding on to sometimes an identity that sometimes even doesn't serve us anymore. And I know this year for me alone, I think I've let go of a lot of what my identity was wrapped up in. Firm balls and Big Business Breakfast Club, now SBT. So next month I'm letting go of SBT. I'm putting that hat down. And that's probably the last one of the businesses that I'm walking away from, so I can fully focus on the mission. Because identity is not really what we do, it's who we are. Again, I go back to what I'm putting together for my TED Talk. Question we ask kids at school right from a young age is, what do you want to do? It's almost as if our identity gets wrapped up in that. A better question surely is, who do I want to be? What type of person do I want to become? And that's what, I guess, me taking my hat off last weekend was a little bit of that. Just letting go of an identity and just being me. I fully embraced that monastery life. Was you got up every day and you participated in their daily routine. So 4:30, wake up, 5 o'clock till 6 a.m. meditation. And then you get involved in chores and you have breakfast, and then obviously the daily work starts. And then around lunchtime, you'll sit and eat as a community. And then you have the afternoon to spend time with yourselves before meditation in the evening. It was just to really stop and slow down. Was amazing for me. And a few things really come up. There was elements where I walked in, and being the type of person I am, I want to go and meet people and get energy from people. So I want to build relationships quickly. But I opted a couple of times to choose not to put myself in that situation, to spend time on my own, to spend time in my own thoughts. And that for me, that made me realise that actually I like a bit of both, because I did enjoy it. I met some incredible people, but I also enjoyed spending some time on my own. But there was 3 things that sort of come up for me. There was these 3 C's that come up a lot, which was connection, contribution, and community. Now I was there and I wanted to connect with other people, but I wanted to connect really with myself. And contribution, that word contribution, what are we contributing? Contribution means so many things. What are we contributing to our community? What are we contributing to the wider world, I guess? I feel like with the mission that I'm on and the purpose that I've got at the moment, I feel like there is that contribution to the greater good, something that's bigger than you, right? And then that word community. I've built communities. I want to create spaces where people belong. Being part of the monastic community there was really something quite special, because it's such a simple life. And I had conversations with people I wouldn't normally have conversations with. An 80-year-old Zen monk, a 25-year-old Dutch novice monk. I met a young guy who was a lay person there, similar to me, 20-year-old German guy from Frankfurt. I mean, I certainly wasn't that enlightened at 20 years old, putting myself in that situation, which was amazing to talk to him and so many other people. It was really incredible. I guess one of the biggest things for me was just unplugging. I went intentionally to leave my phone in my room and not go on it. And over the 3 days I was there, the only time I used it was when I phoned the kids and checked in with them once a day. Other than that, it wasn't in my pocket, it wasn't with me, it was in my room, locked away. And I can't tell you how freeing that was. I was not distracted. So when I was going on a walk through nature, I was there. When I was sitting there reading my book, I was reading my book and I was there. Didn't have this thing in my pocket fighting for my attention. When I was talking to someone, again, I was fully there, fully present. And that word presence, I mean, is probably, out of the 5 pillars, I'd say one of the most important. I know I harp on about it quite a bit, but it was such an important thing. If now is all there is, got to be as present in the now as much as we possibly can. Not worrying about the future, not dwelling over the past, things that haven't happened. I can't change that. I don't know what the future's going to hold. But all I can do, my existence right now, is all there is. And as I was walking through the forest, I come across a bench with a little shelter, and there was a passage there that I wrote down that I'd like to share with you. Look at this day, for its life, the very life of life, in its brief course, lie all the necessities and realities of our existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the solo endure of beauty. Yesterday is now only a dream, and tomorrow only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday dreamt happiness and every tomorrow a vision of hope. To be motivated by the belief that however small our contribution to the world may be, what we do ripples into the future, connecting to all living things through creativity, joy, and service to our community. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. Those words probably encapsulated my experience there at the monastery. And I've tried to take some of those learnings away. Now I know, I really understand that everyday life doesn't allow us to just stop and unplug completely. But we can maybe take moments of that in our life, whether it be half an hour on a walk, or just as soon as you get up in the morning, not to pick up your phone and be on it, but just try and take moments every single day to be fully present. My challenge to you this week is that, right, is take that moment. And I would love to say that I understand the pressures of running a business, I understand the pressures of daily life, but trust me, if you can take half hour, get up a little bit earlier, or go to bed a little bit later, whatever that looks like for you, but just take half an hour, leave that phone somewhere else. Don't put it in your pocket, lock it in a drawer somewhere, even if it's just for half an hour. You'll understand how truly freeing it is. Because having conversations with the people I did in the monastery, again, for me, the realisation and understanding that my existence in this world is enough. It's not what I do, not how productive I am, but just my existence is enough. I am enough. And so are you. Until next week, I'll be wearing my hat again. You all right, mate?